I am very lucky. I am very lucky because I have a person to follow from my own family, my grandfather. During the World War II, my grandfather was taken by the Russians at the age of 18, just like mine. He was taken to Siberia, to a working camp. The conditions were severe and harsh. They had to chop down trees, and they had to build houses every single day. Many of his mates died, but not because they were weaker, because they did give up. And that's not what my father did. My father left his family. My grandfather went to Siberia without his family. When he worked, the only thing which was in front of his eyes was his family, that he has to go back. That was the thing which kept him alive. Many years later, when he got old and when he married, my grandmother got very ill. My grandmother could not take care of herself. And that was the time when my grandfather had to help her. So my grandfather, even though he had his broken knee, he could not really walk. And despite the fact that he was more than 80 years old, he took care of her, he cleaned her, he cooked for her, and he did many things. He could not let her go. He wanted my grandmother to live a life which he used to live before. When she passed away, my grandfather felt useless. My grandmother was the reason for my grandfather to live. After the death of my grandfather also passed away, leaving me an example to follow. But if you take a look around, you can find examples in the world. For example, Stephen Hawking. Stephen Hawking was a nice, fit young man. He was really clever. But due to a rare neurological disease, he got into a wheelchair. They told him at the age of 20 that he will live for like 2 years. And now, today, at the age of 75, he's considered as the smartest man on earth and the smartest physician. That is fascinating. I'm sure you know Mr. Thomas Edison, the person who invented light bulb. When he tried to invent the light bulb, he faced several difficulties and disappointments. A young interviewer asked him, "Hey, mister, don't you want to finish? Don't you feel like a failure?" And Mr. Edison replied, I will never ever give up. Why would I feel like a failure? Now I know more than 9,000 ways that the light bulb would fail. Success is in my hands. And the interviewer just looked. A few months later, at the 10,000th try, Mr. Edison invented the light bulb, changing our life completely. Now, I also attended Mr. Willy's Speak Academy, and I met a girl called Reka. She was nice, but she was shy. She did not talk much. The first time she tried to give her speech for our group, she bursted out crying. She could not say the words properly because she was so scared. And I thought, how on earth is this lady going to talk in front of hundreds of people? But as the time went on, and as we attended his lessons, she got better. Her level increased exponentially. And she became one of the best in the group. But how? Not by a miracle, but by pure motivation and hard work. I'm sure you know the placebo experiment. The placebo experiment, in this placebo experiment, ill subjects are given medicine. Some medicine are real, some medicine are fake. At the end, they ask the subjects whether they feel better or they feel worse. And guess what? All of them felt better. And this is how our mind drastically controls our body. As you know, I'm a cyclist. This is the thing which I wake up for every day. This is the thing that motivates me, and this is I dedicate my life to. I wish everyone would have such an activity. You know what football coaches do at the finals? They don't help people to do the tactics. They don't help people, the players, to score the goal. They set the perfect mindset. They set the winning. They tell them that they should win. And that is the most important thing. You know, when you're at the game, you have to concentrate. You have to be motivated, and that is what coaches do. I think art in life is being your own coach. I think you have to teach yourself the lesson, and you have to find an activity, you have to find a motivation which you can live for and which you can dedicate your life to, such as cycling means to me. I think if you find this activity, you can live a good life and a happy life.